Hello YouTube, and welcome back to me trying to read every single lost episode creepypasta that I can get my hands on. Today, we will be reading Double Time with SplatShock. I honestly don't know any of these shows. Why don't we just get into it? Double Time with SplatShock. Do you ever get those feelings like you've seen a show but you couldn't figure out if it was true? Some sort of fucked up fever dream or the Mandela effect? That was me when I found one of the most particular moments in my childhood. An obscure 1992 kids game show called Double Time with SplatShock. SplatShock is shown as a cartoon lightning bolt with a superhero outfit and mask. The show aired on Nickelodeon back in 1987 before the episodes aired reruns on Nickelodeon in 2003. It was supposed to be a part of the Nick Gas lineup, but due to the slow process, the TV series didn't come out until the reruns were shown. One of the first things I thought back on was the first time I watched the episode. The show randomly came on TV one evening around 4:30 on a Tuesday. AI always says it's on a Tuesday. The episode started with the average narrator saying something in the lines of, "And now it's time for Double Time with SplatShock," and the host coming on stage. The game goes like this. In the theme and style of Legends of the Hidden Temple, they must solve clues to piece an accident like a game of Clue. If the team finds the clues, they move on to the confession table, where they must pick one of the three criminals suspected to have caused the accident. And the final task is racing around the game studio to capture the criminal. The winning team receives a big prize if they capture the criminal. The show was doomed from the start of the pilot. When the camera crew started filming the intro, the animation for SplatShock glitched out, making the mascot vanish and end up being replaced with the SplatShock_test image frame. When the host introduced the team, one of the teammates had a seizure, causing the crew to do an emergency cutoff to replace the teammate. After an hour of commercials and the show returned, one of the spotlights suddenly exploded, sending shards of glass flying across the set. Half of the teammates were in the crossfire and a mass panic ensued. It took almost 2 hours of technical errors and production explosions to get to the official game, Indiana Oops and the Exploding Crate, which took the Indiana Jones brand of humor. I have a hard time believing they didn't cut the show off. Like that part of it, like that episode, they didn't just cut that episode right on the spot when the teammate had a seizure, let alone continuing after the lights exploded and the teammates and crew got injured. It's not that deep. When one of the members mentioned the clue of Indiana Joel's missing gun, a camera member, Jerry Smith, had the gun, proceeded to point it at himself and fire on the spot. The camera switched to a sideways view of the host running to the first camera member. When the show came back, everyone, including a new camera person, Brian Anderson Jr., was at the big screen display to show a playback reaction of the accident. Just as the host was finishing explaining the rules, look for other clues or any other implications to the criminal's story, the big screen display shook violently. A dark brown substance was leaking from it. It was thick and smelled like grease. Then, the screen suddenly slammed down and smashed into the host with a deafening thud. The Nickelodeon executives were panicking big time. It was costing their money, production, and time. With all of the pressure getting to the executives, the show's airing was later taken off after the next commercial break, placing it with the SpongeBob special, The Sponge Who Could Fly. The production area that Double Time with SplatShock aired in was revamped into the studio for Brain Surge. VHS copies were scrapped, destroyed, and even burned in multiple fire pits. Some copies surfaced, including some screenshots, which are gone or deleted, and the singular clip from the introduction of the show when it first aired, which now remains as a disturbing stain on Nickelodeon's crippling empire. And that is the end of the creepypasta. I know with creepypastas there's a suspension of disbelief in which we're supposed to accept certain things to be able to get into the story. But I just have a really hard time believing that after someone having a seizure on set, let alone after having their lights explode, that they just decided to continue. It's just hard to believe, and I'm not sure if Double Time with SplatShock was a live in front of a studio audience kind of thing, or recorded for Nickelodeon. I don't know. So that part's a little confusing. So for this, I'd have to give it a 2 out of 10. I'm not sure what to say. It's just there's not really much to work with here, and what we have to work with is a little underwhelming. Yeah, let me know what you think, and I think it is bye-bye for now.